So we have our Duergar here, the classic super deep down in the depths, dwarf with a scale mail and shield for a total of 16 AC. They are medium, as I stated before, and they have 4d8 hit dice with a constitution of 14. Don't care about wisdom and charisma, and they should be a CR1. Let's see if that works out. Now that we have the base information out of the way, we can move down into the skills. We only have damage resistances to poison, and because it's only one condition, we're going to skip over that and ignore it for the time being. Continuing on with the Duergar and moving down into the monster traits, we have Duergar Resilience, which gives them advantage on saving throws against poisons, spells, and illusions, as well as resistance to being charmed and paralyzed. I'm going to suggest that this is very similar to magic resistance. Next we have Sunlight Sensitivity, and as stated before with the white, this has no effect on the Duergar, surprisingly enough, and we'll move down into the actions of combat. Now we have Enlarge here, which recharges, don't really care, but it does allow the Duergar to hit more often. And it's kind of silly that I have it over here. So the question is do you use Enlarge? Because it takes an action to do this, and in theory, the Duergar would probably do this before battle started, more than likely. Well, let's shift over to the combat workspace section since we're already done here, and we have +4 to hit for the Duergar. And we have, let's see here, a War Pick, a Javelin, and Invisibility. We'll go with the War Pick first for attack number 1, and we'll do 6.5 for that, just for the time being, before we get into any kind of enlarging. And then we have the Javelin for, let's see here, or 9 piercing when whilst enlarged, so we'll do 5.5 there, and Invisibility could be effective 12 damage per round, because it's not an actual attacking spell, but could add in effective damage. Right off the bat, the first things we could do is just round 1, 2, and 3, we'll have the War Pick swing away. The Duergar will be using the War Pick, do some damage, and we'll just do 6.5 to 6 times 3, because we're not doing any kinds of multi-attacks, and we end up with, alright, so we end up with a CR1 half right now, but we haven't included the enlarge attack damage yet. And because we have 2 different attacks here and we're getting 2 different amounts of extra damage, let's increase these to their actual numbers and see what happens. The War Pick will become 11, and I'm just going to cancel out the half damage because we're not going to get anything from there. And we get the 9 damage there. And then we get a full attack of 11 damage every round of combat, which gives us the 11 points of damage here, and we end up with a CR1 Duergar. So the Duergar is a CR1 provided they start combat as enlarged,